Illustrator will let you customize the stroke of a path so that you have the exact thickness you want it and at the exact location you want it. And it does this using the width tool. If you still have the file open from the previous lesson, you can continue with it. If not, you can open up my version. I've called it Leaves 3, and you'll find it in the Chapter 5 folder of the project files. I want to zoom in on some of these leaves, and this time I'll use a little shortcut here. In Windows, I'll press Control Spacebar. On the Mac, you can press Shift Command Spacebar. That gives you the little magnifying glass, and then you can just drag here to zoom in. However you want to zoom in is fine. But let's select the path here. And over here on the left in the toolbox, you want to choose the width tool, this thing here. I have no idea what that's supposed to be, but that's the tool you want. And you see as you move the mouse pointer kind of back and forth, that shows you where on the path you are. But you don't want to put the mouse pointer right on the line itself, not right on the dot. You want to put the mouse pointer on the edge of the path. It might take a little fishing around to do that. And when you do that, just drag outwards a little bit. And now you see you've adjusted that thickness. And it kind of has a gradualness in there. You didn't just kind of create a little embolism there. And also you notice there's a little crossbar. We'll take a look at what that crossbar is in a little bit. And maybe go over here and I'll adjust this here a little bit. And we can bring that out. So this way you can get a very nice hand-drawn custom look. Just use the scroll wheel to come down to any of your drawings. And this is something that it's so local and it's so custom that it's something that the width profile up here simply is not going to do. Okay, so you might be wondering, all right, that's great, but what is that crossbar all about? Let's scroll down to the bottom here. I'll do this on the swish. And again, keep the variable width tool active, put your mouse pointer somewhere on the swish, and you can see where the dot is. And maybe I'll put my mouse pointer right over here on the outside. Notice my mouse pointer is not on the line itself, it's on the edge of the color. And I'll drag out. Okay, so I've got one of those. What I'm going to do is this. Maybe I want the thickness that this line is describing, I want it down over here. So I'll put my mouse pointer now on this dot and I'll drag to the right. And you see I'm keeping that thickness. And if I drag all the way down here, the thickness that I had over there, I've simply moved over here. Because what's happening is the length of this line never changes. So that way, once I've defined how thick I want it, how long I want these lines, I can now position it anywhere I want. So that's just another way that I can customize the width of the stroke. And I'm not limited to having just one of those. Maybe I want one over here. I can drag this out here a little bit. And now if I want, I can adjust this. So I can move these really any place. And also, when I'm using this width tool, it's not just to make lines thicker. Maybe I want them to be thinner. Let's go over here somewhere. I could put my mouse pointer here and drag inwards. And now you see I've tapered it a little bit more. So now I'll just deselect. I'll get the selection tool back and click off it. And now you can't tell that I used the width tool at all. And if we go up here to outline view, see, it's just a regular thin line. And just has some formatting to it. There's one more thing that I want to show you with the width tool. Let's select the swish and go back to it. Each time we've used it, it's been symmetrical. That is, let me put my mouse pointer over here. When I drag outwards, I'm expanding the thickness of the line in both directions the same amount. Maybe you want to do it in only one direction. So hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and now drag, and now you can expand it in one way, in one direction, and not in the other. So that's holding down the Alt key in Windows or the Option key in the Mac. Fortunately, that works in the opposite direction also. Use it. I think it's a really great tool.